So in this video we'll learn how to create bar graphs. Now we won't be learning how to create the basic bar graphs. I assume that you guys already know how to create bar graphs, and if you don't know then you can mention in the comment section below and I'll create a video how to make simple bar graphs. Now in this case we would be creating a different form of bar graph. Like we'll learn how to create this vertical bar graph and this horizontal bar graph. Now for this exercise I'll be using my survey data, which has these four indicators and their respective values. The first indicator is percentage of households with average annual income with more than 1 lakh rupees, and the percentage value is 45. What this means is 45% of households in my survey have an average annual income of more than 1 lakh rupees. Similarly, I have the second indicator which says 65% of households in my survey data have access to safe drinking water, and 51% of households in my survey have access to toilets, and 57% of households in my survey have access to banking services. Now these are my indicators that I'll be using to plot the graph, but you can have your own data points and you can also have as many as you want. Now for demonstration I'll be using these four data points which are my survey indicators. Now to create this vertical bar graph, let me first remove these graphs and then we can create new ones. So to create the vertical bar graph, first what we need to do is select our indicators and their respective values and click on insert, and then select the line chart. From this select the one which has markers, line with markers. Alright, so you'll have something like this. So now that you have your line graph, we need to remove this line. So for that we can just double click on the line and you'll get your formatting options. Now make sure your entire line is selected and not a section of your line, and then just click on this fill option, and under the line tab select no line, and you'll see your line disappears. Since we are creating bar graphs, the next step is we need dropping lines. For that we can add error bars. Just click on error bars and then go to more options. Now for error bars you can also select whether you want cap or no cap. These are just basic formats for your graphs. I'll just select cap option and then I'll go to custom and then specify value. I'll leave the positive error value as it is, and in case of negative error value, because we need dropping lines, so this is your negative error value and this would be your positive error value. We need the negative ones. So in this case my negative error value would just be the ones the data points that I have. I'll click on OK, and that's it. So now you can see I have my bar graph, which is nothing but a modified version of my line graph with markers, and this looks better than the conventional bar graph, and you can also use this in your reports and presentations. Now as a general practice, I set my access to 100, and then if you want you can also remove your access because that is redundant, and then just a few hygiene checks. You can add your data labels. Then if you want to remove your grid lines you can do that, and in this case I'll just mention my chart title as survey indicators. Alright, so this is how my graph looks like now. As you can see, this looks like a bar graph, yet this is nothing but a modified line graph with markers, and I think this looks pretty cool, and you can use this in your presentation and reports. If you want, you can also modify your marker options. Just double click on any of the marker and then select fill and line option. Under this, go to markers and then marker options, built in, select the type of marker you want. So I generally prefer the round marker. You can also go for the square one, and then select the marker size that you want to specify. 4 is fine for me. I'll just close this. So now this is my final bar graph. Now let's move on to the next uh, modified version of our bar graph, that is the horizontal bar graph. Let me just remove this. Now in this case, you might be wondering why I have added this y-axis. Now this y-axis, these are random values that I have assigned to my axis. Now I want my indicators to be spaced at an interval of 2. Now you can set any random value that you want. So for example, my first indicator would be, or the one that would be closest to the x-axis would be this one, percentage of households availing banking services. And above that, I would have my percentage of households having toilet, and then the indicator regarding the safe drinking water, and then the annual income indicator. So this just specify the space at which this data points would be present in my graph. Now to create horizontal graph, first go to insert and then select the first scatter plot option. Now you would get a blank screen, then right click, select data, and then click on add. Now series name is nothing but your chart title. So in this case I'll just write horizontal bar graph. Now in the x-axis I'll select my values, and in the y-axis I'll specify my y values or the interval values that I have given, and then click on OK. Okay. So as you can see, this is the template for my horizontal graph. Now in this case, I need my horizontal lines so that the graph looks like a horizontal bar graph. Right now, this is just a scatter graph and it doesn't serve my purpose. So I'll go to chart elements and then select error bars. Now you can see Excel will just randomly assign the error bars, and since in this case we'll be using the horizontal error bars, so I'll just remove the vertical ones and keep my horizontal error bars. And since we just need our negative error bars, we don't need anything beyond our marker. So I'll go to error bars, more options, click on minus because I just need the negative values, I don't need the positive ones. And in end style I can just select cap, go to custom, specify value, and keep the positive value as it is because we just need the negative value, and then click on OK. Alright, so now you can see your horizontal bar graph. So you can see your y-axis. So this is nothing but the interval, like I explained, like at what interval your indicators are being placed. If you want, you can also remove this, and then few hygiene checks. Always mention your data labels. Now these data labels do not really help me. We don't get an idea for which indicator these values are. So what I'll do is I'll go to data labels and then select more options, click on value from cells, and then select your range, click OK. I can remove my grid lines. because I would want my graph to be less cluttered, and then I can just format my graph the way I want it to be. So this looks fine. If you want, you can also delete your callout options. Now you can further edit your bar graph if you wish to, and then now this is your final graph, and you can use this in your reports and presentation. So this is also a bar graph, but this is actually a modified scatter plot which is used as a bar graph. That's it for this video. Hope you learned something new. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you liked the video, then don't forget to smash the like button and share the video with your friends and colleagues. Also, please feel free to use the comment section below to let me know what more you would like to learn in the upcoming videos. Till then, thanks again for watching this video, and do check out the channel for more such contents.